Radhe Radhe everyone, please take Aarti and Prasad, but after that I will be starting my discourse. It's the first one in a series of 5 discourses. My topic, these will be in English, my topic is exploring your relationship with Sri Krishna. Exploring our relationship with God, this is the topic. अब आप आइए और आरती और प्रसाद ग्रहण कीजिए. बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। गुरुराराधना दिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतम् गुरोः परतरं नास्ति कृपालु गुरवे नमः। मधुर मधुरमेतन् मङ्गलम् मङ्गलानां सकलनिगमवल्ली सत्फलं चित्स्वरूपम् सकृदपि परिगीतं हेलया वेदया वा भृगुवर्नरमात्रं तारयेत् कृष्णनाम। नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमल मालिने नमः कमल पादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ब्रह्म देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Eternal devotees of God, let's now chant for a few minutes the sweet words Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala. As you know, chanting process is very important in meditation, in doing Roop Dhyan. So we use the sweet words of God, names of God. When we take the name of God, we use these sweet names of God, and when we chant the glory of God and pastimes of God, we use them to help us meditate on God. So why don't we start doing Roop Dhyan of Shri Krishna, who is variously known as Giridhar, the mountain lifter, Govind and Gopal, the divine cowherder. Please sing after me. Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala Bhajo Giridhar Giridhar Govind Gopala Bhajo Giridhar Govind गोपाला भजो गिरिधर गोविंद 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 गोपाला। बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Devotional listeners, now I request that you settle down, and I also request your full attention. If you have your cell phone with you, will you kindly check to make sure it's been turned off? Thank you. There is someone who is our nearest and dearest, yet a complete stranger to us. That sounds strange, doesn't it? That one who is nearest and dearest to us, the one who loves us the most, he's a stranger to us. The eternal Vedas say, Divyo Deva Eko Mata Pita Bhrata Nivasah Sharanam Suhrit Gatir Narayan Iti. This is Subala Shruti. Chapter 4, Mantra 6. This mantra says, Narayan, God, is your mother, your father. God alone is your brother. He is your abode, your shelter, and your ultimate aim. God alone. Scriptures say, Shri Krishna Jaganta to Jagan Mata tu Radhika. Shri Krishna is your divine father. He's the divine father of all living souls. And Radharani is the divine mother of all. Vedas and Vedic scriptures proclaim boldly and loudly that God alone belongs to us. But that same God is a stranger to us. We don't have any such relationship with him. We only seem to go towards him when we are in times of trouble, because we have heard that when you're in times of trouble, you need to run to God and ask him to make things right. We go to him to ask for worldly acquisitions, such as wealth, health, name, fame, and so much more. But we do not have a relationship with him as such. The reason seems to be that we are not convinced that he is our one and only. So how can we accept what the Vedas and Vedic scriptures are saying to us, that God alone is everything to us? To understand why scriptures say this, we need to first understand who we are. Each one of us refers to ourselves as I. I am, I did this, I did that, I was there, I'm going to go there. The word I, the pronoun I, we use that. Each one of us uses it for ourselves. If we think that I am this physical body made of ether, air, fire, water, and earth, then naturally we will accept people of the world as ours. We say that this is my mother, this is my father, these are my siblings, this is my spouse, these are my children. We have a strong relationship with them. As long as we think that I am the body. So naturally then, if I am the body, then people, the mother, the one who gave me birth, she's my mother. She gave birth to this body, she is my mother. My father is the one, he is responsible for my birth also, and so he's my father. The one I have accepted as my spouse, that's my spouse, these are my children. But what would happen if we were to start understanding that the definition of I is completely different? What if we were to find out that our mind has been taking faulty decisions? Our mind and intellect have been taking faulty decisions. What then? What if we were to accept what Hastamalak has said? He was a disciple of Adi Shankaracharya, and in Hastamalak Stotram it is said, Naham manushyo na cha deva yaksho na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudra na brahmachari na grihi vanastho bhikshur na chaham nijabodharupa. Hastamalak says, I am not a human, I am not a yaksh, I am not a celestial being, a devta, and I am not a brahman or kshatriya or vaishya or shudra. I am not a brahmachari, a celibate student, and I am not a grihasthi, I am not a householder, I am not married with children, I am not that. I am not a forest dweller, a vanaprasthi, nor am I a mendicant sannyasi. I am none of this. I'm none of these. I am not the body. Therefore, I'm not a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. I'm not a human or a Yaksh or a Devta. I'm not that. I am the Atma. I am the soul, the spirit soul. The spirit soul is who I am. What if we were to understand this? What would happen then? Then we would accept the soul of all souls. We would accept God to be ours. We would no longer say, only using our tongue, Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva. O Lord, you are my only mother. O Krishna, you are my only father, my only brother, my only friend. And then we would not say to him, Tvameva vidya dravinam, Tvameva sarvam, mama deva deva. My Lord of Lords, you are my only wealth, my only knowledge. You are my one and only. We would not say these words only using our tongue. We would actually mean these words. These words would come from the heart with full conviction. Our perspective would change greatly. Now, how can we convince the mind that I am not the body, I am the soul? The scriptures tell us that. They tell us you are not the body, you are the Atma, but our mind does not believe this. What can we do to convince this mind that I am the soul? Well, if I think that I am the body, then in this lifetime I have the body of a human. In countless previous lives, I had the body of an animal, an insect, a bird, plant, tree, devta. I was born human countless times. I was born in lower forms of life countless times. I have lived in Swargalok as a devta infinite times. So I have had countless bodies. So who am I really? Am I a human? Yeah, I've had that body. I've been a human. Am I an insect? Yes, well, I've been that too. Am I an animal? Yes, I've been an animal countless times. Am I a plant, a tree? Indeed I am. I have had that body countless times. Am I a devta? Then there will be all these answers. Well, I am this, but I'm also this, and this. I cannot be that which is always changing. The body is always changing from one life to another. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjun, Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naro parani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnanyanyani sanyati navani dehi. The second chapter of the Gita is very, very important. Shri Krishna tells us about the soul. In this verse from the second chapter, Bhagwan Shri Krishna tells Arjun, look Arjun, just as an individual takes off old and soiled clothing and puts on new garments, in exactly the same way, the soul discards one body in favor of another. The soul is changing bodies just as we change clothes. Just as we are not the clothes that we wear. In the same way, we are not this body that the soul is wearing in this life. This body is not who we are. This body is mine. It is not I. I am not the body. The body belongs to me. It belongs to that I. You see, the soul never changes. The soul that is inside this body, the soul that lives in the subtle heart, Sukshma Hriday, Hridi Hyesha Atma, say the Upanishads. The soul lives in the subtle heart, not the physical part of the body that pumps blood, but the subtle heart that cannot be seen. Within the physical heart, there is the Sukshma Hriday, the subtle heart, which has no shape, no form, no size. It is Sukshma. It cannot be seen. That soul which lives in the subtle heart it does not change ever. It is the same in this life as it was countless lifetimes ago. It has never changed. And it is always pure. It is a fraction of God. Atma is nitya. It is eternal. And it is shuddha. It is unaffected by Maya. It is a pure part and parcel of God. So we reason with our mind, because our mind is telling us, look, you are the body. So we reason with our mind, do you think that I'm the body? The body is always changing. So what am I? A horse? A human? A fish? A mosquito? I have occupied all these bodies and 8.4 million types of bodies. So who am I really then, if you say that I'm the body? I cannot be that which is always changing. I am that which is always the same, that never changes. So we need to convince our mind. We need to hear a lot of lectures. Listening to lectures, spiritual lectures once or twice will not do it. We've heard countless times, you've heard the same thing again and again. Look, you're not the body, you're the soul. You're not the body, you're the soul. It will take a lot of listening, not only listening, but it will take a lot of sadhana. It will take a lot of practice. We will have to practice. Theory is theory. But when the theory is put into practice, that is a real thing. Practice is impossible without theory, but theory without practice is incomplete. It leads to pride. We'll then say, well, I know I'm the soul, I know all that. We can quote from many scriptures, but if there is no practical application to that theory, then we are just paying lip service. So it will take a lot of listening. That listening will have to be done with faith. It will have to be good listening, not just with the ears. Not that only that the ears are open, but the mind is open. The mind is willing to receive knowledge of scriptures. That mind. And then we will need to reflect on what we have heard. Because we hear so many things from the world, so many conversations. We hear so much from TV, radio, internet. We have so many sources. From people, we hear so many words. And what happens is that the words of the Vedas and Vedic scriptures, they're drowned in all that din, in all that noise. So we will have to listen first very, very carefully. The next step we need to take is to reflect on what has been said. We will need to remove ourselves from the world. We will need to do quiet contemplation. We will need to be by ourselves, and we'll need to think about what has been said. And we'll need to go over it in our mind again and again. It's only then that we will start to practice what has been said. We will start to practice what we have understood theoretically, what we have heard in theory. So the mind will have to be convinced that we are the soul, not the body. And once an individual starts to understand that he is the soul and not the body, then he starts to understand that it is only with God that we are truly related. He starts to understand, look, I understand now. I'm beginning to understand that my relative is only Sri Krishna. My relative is only God. I cannot be related to anyone else. Does this mean that biological mother, father, or spouse, or children, they have no value in our lives? No. They absolutely have value in our lives because we have a body as well. But I'm just saying that we need to make a distinction that these are people who are related to my body, and this is God who is related to me because I am the soul. There's a big distinction. There's a big difference between the body and the soul. Therefore, there's a huge difference between those who are related to our body and those who are related, and the one who is related to the soul, to me. We just need to understand that. That's all. Just need to understand that the soul is related only to God, and the body is related to many people in the world. Adi Shankaracharya poses a very important question. He says, if you say that you are the body and you have these relatives, these are your loved ones, your own flesh and blood, then I ask you, Kati naam sutana lalita kativa neha vadhura bhunji kvanute kvanutascha vavayam bhavasangah khalupantha sangamah. The great Acharya poses the question, where are your countless previous relatives, the ones you called your mother, your father, your spouse, your children, your siblings? You've had countless of these, but where are they now? Do you recognize them? We do not recognize the ones we called our own in the previous lives. We would not recognize them. We only recognize the ones we call our own in this life. So think about it. In our previous life, there was a whole set of people we called our own. These are my own flesh and blood. We cried for them. We rejoiced in their successes. We cried with them in their failures. We cried when we became separated from them physically. We became annoyed with them. We invested so many emotions in them, and now we don't even know them. We don't know them. Likewise, we are investing so many emotions in the ones we call our own. We grieve for them. We rejoice for them. We rejoice with them. We cry with them. We laugh with them. We invest a lot of emotions, and we waste a lot of emotions also. Ramakrishna Paramhans used to say, your tears are very valuable, they're very precious, they're like pearls, they're not to be wasted for the world. Shed tears only for God and Guru. He used to say, people shed buckets and buckets of tears for the world, but who really cries for God? So we have invested so many emotions in the ones we don't even recognize right now. And the ones we call our own in this life will not be recognized by us in the future lifetimes. Something to think about. It has to be thought about. We are not animals. We are not insects, birds, plants, trees. We have higher intelligence. We need to think about all this. We must think about all this. We cannot live as humans if we do not think about all this. If we do not reflect on this, then it means that we are not even fit to be called human. Animals cannot think about this because they can only concentrate on eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. That is it. Nothing else. They cannot think about the higher truths of life. But if we, as humans, do not pay any attention to these higher truths of life, then we are no better than animals. So, being human, my Gurudev Jagatguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj used to say, quite often he would say, Akhir tum manushya ho, socho. You're a human after all. Think about this. Does this make sense to you? You're a human. Think, because you have a higher intellect. You have a more developed mind and intellect, so think. We need to think. There are some very important differences between the ones we call relatives, the relatives of the body. And as I said, they are, of course, they're important because they're related to our body. but they are not ours. They are related to the body. I'm the soul, so they're not related to me. So the ones we call our relatives and Sri Krishna, God, there's a big difference in these relationships. The relationships we have in the world with people of the world, that relationship is, first of all, first difference is that that's a temporary relationship. It's not an everlasting relationship. It's not a beginningless relationship. It's not eternal by any means. Are there any two people in the world who can claim that they have always been related to one another? Well, they may say we've been related for many lives. They feel that, but it's not true. There are no two people in the world who can claim to be eternally related to one another. We are related to these people for one lifetime only one lifetime. And oftentimes, the relationship does not last even one lifetime. Two people, they may divorce one another. They're married, but they may divorce one another. There's a separation then. They put an end to their relationship. You can call it divorce, you can call it separation, you can call it uncoupling. There are many words that people use. Oh, we have consciously uncoupled. That's a new word, uncoupled. But you know, what does it mean? We have put an end to our relationship. We are no longer related. And then death puts an end to the relationship also. Man and a woman, they're taking their wedding vows and they're saying, till death do us part. The wife dies in 10 days. The husband says, where are you going? You promised to till death do us part. She says, dear husband, that was until my death, not until yours. If he leaves and she complains, he would say, well, I promised, my dear wife, to be with you until my death, not your death, because I have no control over this. Death puts an end to even the most intimate relationship. That relationship may be just hours. It may have lasted only hours. Man and a wife, they get married, they go on their honeymoon. Terrible accident happens and he dies or she dies, and that's the end of the relationship. It's a very fragile relationship. It began and then it ended within a matter of hours or days or months or years. But our relationship with God is without a beginning. It is eternal. It never started. It has always been there. It has always existed. Like God has always existed, because God has always existed, and because Jeev, the individual soul, we have always existed. And so our relationship with God has always been in existence. It did not start one day. Worldly relationships start one day, they end one day. Two people may say, well, you know, our relationship started in 1995 and it ended just 3 years ago, 2015. People say, well, you know, our relationship ran its course. It ran its course. Now it's ended. It's finished. Kaput, done. That's it. No more. Now, when we look at the word relationship in Sanskrit, or in Hindi also, the word is sambandh. Sambandh. Sam meaning samyak or complete, eternal, and bandh meaning bond. Eternal bond. That is what sambandh means. Relationship. It means eternal bond. We do not have an eternal bond with anyone of this world. Our bond, eternal bond, is only with God. Only with God. He was always with us, is always with us now, and will always remain with us. This relationship never comes to an end because it never started. The physical relationships start and end because the body, there's a beginning to the body, then there's an end to the body. Therefore, relationships that have to do with the physical body, they start one day and they end one day. That is the first major difference between our so-called relationships in the world and our relationship with God. The second very great difference between these two is that we have only one relationship with one person. That's it. Your father is only your father. Your father, it's not that your father is your father and your mother and your brother. No, your father is your father, and you have a brother, you have a mother. Suppose a woman calls out to her husband, she says, "Beta, idhar aana." He would ask, "What did you say?" She said, "Beta, son, come over here." He would immediately start to worry. Dimag kharab ho gaya hai. She's losing her mind. She called me beta. She said, "Well, I think of you as my husband and my son." No, that's not allowed. That is never allowed. You cannot do that. The husband is only the husband, the son is only the son, the wife is only the wife. But with Lord Krishna, we can say, "You are my everything." We can call him mother. Radha Rani is the mother. Radha and Krishna are one. He's the mother, he's the father, he's the beloved, he's the child. He's everything, everything. Every relationship starts with him and ends with him. That's it. All relationships. There are no restrictions. This is what Tvameva Mata means. Every Hindu knows that. Tvameva Mata, Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva. If we think about this verse, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. And you are my only mother, my only father. How much should we be loving him, the one who is our one and only? Tvameva Sarvam, you are my one and only. You are everything to me. How much love we should have for him, the one who is our everything. And he does not stop us. He doesn't say, "Look, I am your Lord and Master, and you can call me your father, but that's about it. I draw the line there." No, go ahead, go right ahead. Call me your mother, I'm your father, I'm your everything. We say, "Are you my cousin also?" Yes. My uncle, aunt, every relationship. He says, "You go ahead. Every relationship. You can form every relationship with me." So, the soul's relationship with Sri Krishna is, first of all, it is eternal, without a beginning, without an end. We may forget him, but he never forgets us. We may even abuse him, and we may claim to not believe in him. We may say, "There is no such thing as God. God is a figment of someone's imagination. There's no such thing as God." God says, "Never mind, I'm still yours. I will still do everything for you." And that brings me to my third point. So first of all, he's our eternal relative. He's our true relative. And secondly, he's our complete relative. He's our everything. Third, very important point is that he is an unselfish relative. Completely unselfish. There's no self-interest that he has in his mind. He does not need anything from us. He does not want anything from us. He's God. We want this thing, that person, we want to be in that place. We have so many desires because we are searching for happiness. And we do not realize that we are really searching for God, because happiness and God are synonymous. Anando brahmiti vyajanat, says Taittiriya Upanishad. Anandamayo bhyasat, says Brahma Sutra. God is happiness. Without realizing this, we are searching for happiness all over the world. But God is complete. He does not need anything or anyone to make him happy, for he is happiness himself. We should not even say that there is happiness in him, because that would mean, that suggests that we are thinking God to be empty until happiness comes and becomes a part of him. My Gurudev used to give the example of Rasgulla. Rasgulla is made of two things, ras plus gulla. Gulla is a dry ball of ricotta cheese or paneer. And then the ras comes in. The ras is put into it. That is the sugary, that syrup, the sweet syrup, a wonderful sugary sweet syrup. And now the whole thing is complete. The gulla is not complete by itself until that sugary syrup is added to it. But God is not like this dry gulla that happiness has to be added to him, then he becomes complete. He is happiness himself. It's not that he has happiness in him. That would be like saying, well, there's water in the ocean. Well, the word ocean in itself means an abundance of water. So what you're really saying is there's water in the water? Oh, I suppose so. I always say that, but I guess that's silly. In the same way, we say there's happiness in God. But the correct statement would be God is happiness. So if he is happiness, he doesn't need anything from us. He loves us so much that he keeps on serving us, regardless of how we feel about him. He gives water to drink to someone like Vibhishan, a great devotee, but he does the same for Ravan, his enemy. He does the same, he gives the same to the one who believes in him, as well as to the one who shuns him and proclaims himself to be a non-believer, an atheist. He provides for the one who loves him and adores him, but he also provides for the one who hates him. He loves every individual soul so much. We may forget our relationship with him, but he never forgets. He never forgets that we are his children and that we have every relationship with him, that he has every relationship with us. His is an unselfish relationship with us. People of the world have a selfish relationship with us. We don't like the word selfish, but it is true. We also have selfish relationships with others. We always look out for our self-interest, don't we? We may claim to be selfless in our love, but it's impossible. Why impossible? Because we are searching for happiness and we have not received it yet. So we are as if groping in the dark. Okay, maybe I can find happiness in this one, maybe in that one, maybe in this thing, maybe in that object, maybe over there, maybe over there, maybe over here, maybe over there. We are just looking for happiness, searching for happiness, just hoping we'll get it somewhere. So we are so consumed by our own search for happiness, and we do not have happiness, then how can we make another person happy? We may say, I did this for you. I did this for you. I sacrificed so much for you. But actually, we do everything for ourselves. The closest relationship that comes to selfless relationship is a relationship between a mother and child. But even there, between a parent and child, there is so much sacrifice in that relationship. Mother and father sacrifice so much for their children, and I always tell children when I have an opportunity to do so that, look, your parents are the only people in the world who will want you to do better in life than they have done. Nobody else in the world will want you to surpass them, but your parents will. That's an almost unselfish relationship, but parents are also human, and so there is a desire that this child, for whom I have sacrificed so much, will also serve me in my old age. This child will make me proud. So many times parents say, how could you do this? What will society say? There's a desire for that child to do well, because there's a desire for one's own, to gain their own respect. What will society say about us? I wanted you to be a doctor, you became a tattoo artist? Oh goodness, what will the Vermas think, and what will the Sharmas think? What will the Srivastavs think? They all have children who turned out to be doctors and engineers and lawyers, and look at you. You opened a tattoo parlor, for goodness sake. Have you ever seen an Indian do that? And, so what is going on? I'm ashamed of you. You don't do what I wanted you to do, and you have not given me respect in society. You don't look right. You're overweight. You're bringing shame on me. You did not meet my expectations. Basically, that's what it is. So everyone has expectations, even mother and father. This is why when Bhagwan Ram gave one single lecture in the course of 11,000 years during his stay on this earth, he gave one single lecture, and after he had delivered this lecture, the Ayodhya-vasis, the inhabitants of Ayodhya, said to him, Lord, Tumh binu as sikh de na ko, mat pita swarath rat ho. Bhagwan, no one but you can give us this instruction. You have given us instructions that are completely born of selfless love. Even mother and father cannot teach us like the way you have taught us. You have given us this shiksha, this instruction, with no self-interest whatsoever. Part of what Bhagwan Ram said was this: Sabu Karuma tag batori, mam pad kamal bandhu bat dori. O good people of Ayodhya, take all your attachments that you have in the world, take all your worldly attachments, the attachments that you have to people and objects, gather them all, string them in the form of a necklace, a garland, and place that garland at my lotus feet. This is what Bhagwan Sri Ram said. That I am your one and only. The Lord is saying, Bhagwan is saying this. He's our one and only because we are individual souls. His love is completely free of selfishness. There is no selfishness whatsoever in his love. And there is one more who loves us unselfishly, and that is someone who has attained God realization. Another name for such a personality is Guru. The word Guru does not simply mean one who's accepted as a Guru. The word Guru does not mean one who is walking on the spiritual path and knows more than us. Guru means gumrauti iti guruhu, girati agyanam iti guruhu, grinati jnanam iti guruhu. The Vedas say the one who dispels ignorance is the Guru. The one who gives true knowledge is the Guru. The Guru is the one whom even Shri Krishna follows. Anubrajamyaham nityam puye ye tyangri renubhihi. Bhagavad Mahapuran, Bhagwan Shri Krishna says, I walk behind these pure devotees of mine so that I may become purified by the dust that is raised as they walk. The dust that is raised by their lotus feet will fall upon me, and with this hope I walk behind them so that I may become purified. That is a Guru, the one who is followed by Shri Krishna. A divine being, one who comes into our life and graces us in ways that are impossible for us to fathom. And because tasmins tajjane bheda bhavat, Narad Bhakti Darshan, Narad Muni says in his very ancient scripture, Narad Bhakti Darshan, in which there are 84 sutras, 84 aphorisms, short sayings but packed with meaning, like tasmins tajjane bheda bhavat. There is no difference between God and the one who has attained God, the Guru. So the only one besides God who is completely unselfish in love for us is the Guru, the divine Guru. Other than that, everyone has their self-interest. Should we become bitter about this? Should we start hating the world, knowing this? Absolutely not. Just as we are under the control of Maya and just as we are self-serving, so is everyone else. How can we say to someone else, you are selfish? When we point the finger at others, we are pointing the finger at ourselves as well, because we are also under the control of Maya. We are also self-serving. We are looking for our own happiness. We don't mind stepping on another's toes as long as it helps us. Let's admit that. We're not that bad, but we're not selfless. Some are more selfish than others. We're not so bad. But the fact is that we are self-serving. We do look out for our own interest more than the interest of others. And that is natural. As long as we are controlled by God's beguiling power, Maya, we cannot help but be selfish. So we should not hold a grudge against anyone. We should just know the reality. The facts have to be known, the truth has to be admitted, that's all. Because that will change our relationship with the world. And the worldly relationships we have, they will be more harmonious if we understand where our family members are coming from. Then we will understand, my brother, looking for his own happiness. Oh, my wife, she's looking for her happiness. That is why she did this, but that's only normal. Why should I mind it? This knowledge brings us power, and that power helps us to bring harmony into our lives. We can have wonderful, harmonious relationships with one another, family members, if we understand that everyone is searching for their own happiness. Yajnavalkya instructed his wife Maitreyi by saying, O Maitreyi, navare patyuh kamaya patih priyo bhavatyatmanastu kamaya patih priyo bhavati. Nava are jaya yai kamaya jaya priya bhavatyatmanastu kamaya jaya priya bhavati. Navare putranam kamaya putraha priya bhavantyatmanastu kamaya putraha priya bhavanti. Maitreyi nava are sarvasya kamaya sarvam priyam bhavatyatmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Atma vare drashtavya shrotavyo mantavyo nididhyasitavyo. Maitreyi, Yajnavalkya said this to Maitreyi. O Maitreyi, there is no husband in the world who loves his wife for the sake of the wife. He loves her for his own sake. There is no wife in the world who loves her husband for his sake. She loves him for her own sake. There are no children who love their parents for the parents' sake. They love them for their own sake. Everyone loves another for their own sake. Jate kachu nij swarth hoi, ta par mamta kare sab koi. Sur nar muni sabke yah riti, swarth lagi karahi sab preeti. Beautiful words of Tulsidas Ji, who says to us, and it is in fact Bhagwan Sri Ram who seated within Tulsidas Ji's heart is writing this. Through Tulsidas, he says, there is no one in the world who loves another without a selfish motive. We should not be offended by this. We should not become bitter about this. We should just know this. Knowledge is power. There is a huge difference. There are many differences. I pointed out three. There are three differences between the relationships that we have, physical relationships, body, the relationship that is connected to the body. There's a huge difference between that kind of relationship and the relationship that we have with Sri Krishna, the soul has with God. There are three main differences. We cannot practice devotion to God. We are always told, practice devotion to God, love God, do bhajan and kirtan, and when you do that, meditate on God. But our mind thinks, who is this God, and why should I waste my time thinking of Him? And I can't seem to think about Him. I cannot do Roop Dhyan. I cannot meditate on Him. Why? The answers have to be given to the mind. Look, He is your one and only. And this is the way He is your one and only. You are not the body, you are the soul. So your relationship is only with God. You have a body also, and so you have many relatives that are connected to your body. But you are the soul, so your true relative is only God. Once we start understanding this, then another question comes into the mind, and that is God. My relative is God, but I've never seen Him. I can't hear Him. I can't touch Him. I cannot experience Him with any one of my senses. I can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell Him. So I don't know how to love Him. Fair enough. From the time when we were children, we were asked, where is God? And we used to look up in the sky and say, God is there. Akash mein rehte hain. God lives in the sky. And even today, we feel very distant from God. You know, He lives over there somewhere in His abode, and here I am down here, and there's no relationship. I don't feel comfortable with Him. So how can I love Him? How can I accept Him as my one and only? Well, we are very fortunate in that we have a storehouse of true knowledge in the form of Vedas and Vedic scriptures. And we have the benefit of being taught by the divine ones. In this case, I am presenting before you the philosophy of a great, great master, Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, my Gurudev. So we have the benefit of learning from these great masters. And Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj says, don't love God, love Krishna. And we ask, is Krishna not God? Is Krishna not God? He says, no, He is God. And in fact, these words are recorded in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu by Rup Goswami. He says, love Sri Krishna, don't love God, love Sri Krishna. And we ask, well, is Krishna not God? He says, yes, but He's much more than God. He is God, but don't dwell on that. He's much more than God. He is your loving master. He is your loving friend. He is your loving child. And most importantly, He is your loving beloved. Rup Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, a very important scripture on devotion, he says, love Sri Krishna, don't love God. Meaning, don't think of Him as God, think of Him as your own master, loving master, your own loving friend, your best friend, your own child, your own beloved. Form loving relationships with Him because He's much more than God. And so, we shall explore these relationships, these loving and beautiful relationships with Sri Krishna. And we shall also be singing the bhajans of Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj in his Prem Ras Madira scripture, which is a lyrical scripture. Sri Maharaji has given us 1008 very beautiful bhajans, devotional songs. And these 1008 bhajans take us into different moods, and they help us to think of Sri Krishna as a loving master, a loving friend, a loving child, and loving beloved. So I am very looking so forward to mixing these bhajans into the lecture starting tomorrow, when we start to explore our relationships with Sri Krishna. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. I look forward to meeting with you tomorrow evening. And please keep in mind that next weekend we will be celebrating Holi. हम शुक्रवार, शनिवार एवं रविवार को 3 दिन होली मनाएंगे. शुक्रवार को होलिका दहन होगा और हम गौरांग महाप्रभु की जयंती भी मनाएंगे। और शनिवार को रंग से होली खेली जाएगी, और रविवार को जो हमारा नॉर्मल सत्संग होता है, साप्ताहिक सत्संग होता है 10 से 12 बजे, सुबह 10 से 12 बजे तक, उसमें हम फूलों से होली खेलेंगे। So on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, please come and be part of the holy celebrations. And Friday we'll be doing Holika Dahan, we'll be burning Holika outside, and we will be playing, also be celebrating Mahaprabhu Jayanti. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is very important to us. Those who wish to love Shri Krishna, he's very important. He was Radha and Krishna combined in one form, who appeared in this world some 500, little over 500 years ago. He taught us so much about devotion. So we'll be celebrating his divine appearance day, birthday, and then we'll be celebrating Holi with colors on Saturday. We'll be celebrating Holi as a part of our regular satsang on Sunday. We'll be singing a lot of beautiful bhajans, holy bhajans that Sri Maharaj Ji has composed. And we'll be playing Holi with flowers in a way that we've never played it over here. So please come for Holi, and please do spread the word. And if you have not taken Aarti and Prasad, please do so now. Jai Shri Radhe.